Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Hellgate London, the Steam version. My name is Wilfred, and in today's video, I'd like to share with you a compilation of my gameplay, Second Attack, which is an expansion after the base game, after defeating Sindonai. And there is a new station come up called Closed Station. There are 4 gates to go through, 4 maps, and the missions are kind of like very linear, but nonetheless, the whole gameplay is around 3 hours. Then you get to complete it, and then but I compress it into 21 minutes for you guys. So I hope you get to enjoy this. I like Second Attack a lot, mainly because some of the maps are quite new, like this type of map that I haven't really seen before. There's trees and so on and so forth. There are some mob types that I have not quite seen before as well, so I thought it was rather interesting. And also, by and large, there's quite a lot of bosses around, so it make it pretty engaging as well. You have to take down quite a lot of enemies as well. So some of them could be a timed event that you can see later. You have to complete certain objective within half an hour. Now I don't think I would ever fail it, but just that having a timer on top of my head kind of make it more exciting for me. So I kind of like it. Now I'm playing the Nightmare mode, by the way. So the Hellgate London, this version has 3 difficulties. The normal, the Nightmare, as well as Health. So I don't think there's any XP bonus when you play a higher difficulties, but I was being told that you get better loot if you play a higher difficulty, so I don't know. But I guess it's more from a gameplay perspective. I think Nightmare is just nice for me because normal seems a little bit too simple. You can just one-shot everything that you come your way. Nightmare, you got to avoid and dodge certain game mechanic like the AoE around you. So I thought that, well, I mean, I can kind of like get used to Nightmare, and who knows, one day I may play Hell a little bit. So so this is Nightmare mode. The mob level is around 30 to 40 from a Second Attack map perspective. So I think by the time you finish Sindonai, you should be around level 30, which I think in my case was level 34. Yeah, level 34. Then you can come to Second Attack, continue level your character to 40. But I did not do that because I went over to Stonehenge and got myself like a level up big time there until level 46, I think, or 47. So I am sort of like pretty out level the mobs a little bit. But the interesting thing about this game is that it's not really about level, because with level comes the attribute points that I could put, like equip certain weapons and so on. But the gear kind of matter, because the gear will have their own level, and my gear is still around average of 30 to 40. And because the more higher tier the gears are, the higher attribute requirement would be. So for example, what are the attribute? Attribute could be stamina, strength, willpower, and whatnot. And in order to accuracy, and in order to equip a piece of weapon or a piece of armor, you need to have X number of willpower, Y number of like accuracy, or Z number of stamina. So the attribute requirement on the gear in this game will limit the number of gear that you can, or the level of the gear that you can have. So it is not like in other ARPG whereby, in a way, your power keep being scaled up by some of these like weapon. The constraint is really about choosing the right mix of gear, with the kind of requirement that kind of makes sense. So so there's a constraint there. You can't just equip every piece of beautiful weapon or armor out there. There's a huge cost to it. So my gear is around 30 to about 30-ish. So I think in a although I'm already level 46, but net wise, I am sort of like just about that level. But of course, with the level that I get a skill point, with the skill point I get to have more pets and more elemental kind of thing. So but that's about it. That's the only advantage I can see I have here over being a higher level going into Second Attack. All right. So now, I think one of you asked about the summoner, because I think some of you are very interested in the summoner gameplay, and I would say that me too. I mean, I love playing a summoner in any games, be it as Marvel Heroes or Diablo 3 or yeah, I mean, I'll play a summoner if I given a choice, or Alerts Below by David Bravitt, the new game. So I always like to play a summoner, and it's a very legit question, like how many unique type of pets I could have. So let me just spend some time talking about what are the things that you could do with a summoner, and how I feel that there are some build that work for me, some build that doesn't, and why they don't, and why it doesn't, so on and so forth, right? So now, elementals are the one that you see running around. There are 5 different type of elementals. I only use 4 for reasons that I'll tell you in just a bit. So you can have like the fire elemental, which is like a very generic kind of like pet that can do range power. So it's good against melee target as well as flying target. So sometimes you can see the sky full of flying kind of demons, and if you are melee, you can't reach it. But for the fire elemental, is you can do it. I don't know how effective they are, but they don't. I mean, they seems to be doing their job in a way. And now I have the force elemental, which is a silver black one that's running in front. These are like my little tanks, like the one that on the right hand side there. These are like my little tanks that they do melee kind of damage, and they run to the front to tank the mobs in front. So they're pretty durable. They do the job pretty well. They have a toxic elemental as well. I don't know whether you've seen it. I think toxic elemental most of the time is not that useful, but against like a champion or boss, then it's kind of nice, because boss they tend to regenerate health, and the only way to stop them from regenerating health is to debuff them, and debuff them with toxic is one way to stop them from regenerating health. So toxic is important. I may pump up to 2 because sometimes it does get resisted, and it doesn't really like do a job in a way. Then I have something called a storm elemental. You can see that sometimes you can see the beam coming into from the ground, and these are the elementals that are very good against flying target, but it doesn't do much for the melee target. So in a way, you can have you can have the force elemental to tank the melee, then you can have the storm elemental to deal with the flying object. Now, can you do without the storm elemental, right? Because I think that is one good question. I've tried that before. I found that if I go to the map with a lot of flying kind of creatures, it get a little bit more tedious. It get significantly slower to clear the map without the storm elemental. So I leave them there for just that reason, for no other better reason. So yep, that's the one that I do. By the way, this is one of the boss that was quite interesting as well. I think I can't remember. So now there's one elemental that I did not use. It is called the spectral. So spectral, unlike the rest of the elemental, you can only have one. And the more points you put into it, the more because it does kind of like a damage over time, phase damage they call it. So the more points you put into it, the higher chance it will debuff the enemy with the damage over time, because damage over time can be resisted. So that's about it. But I don't really see that I have that much many points to spare right now, because I still like to do other things as well. So basically, I mean that is the one that I have, and there's also another skill or passive that you can put in to lower the requirement for pets. As well. So the moment you summon a pet like the elemental, your mana pool, or the power, they call it the blue one, the power pool will get diminished. So there's a reserve to it. So the more number of pets you have, the more reserve your power pool will be. So you got lesser power to do things. And there's also one passive whereby I can lower the requirement for that kind of like reserve or penalty. I would say the penalty of having a pet, the penalty against your power pool. So I have that as well. But that's basically my build. I'm also using a witch doctor. You see the guy there with the very thin arms doing things. Is a healer. So you have 3 choices. You can either have a carnivore, which is a tank. You can use him to heal as well. So it's very neat. You can have the witch doctor, which I'm using here for healing. And Witch Doctor could also do mind control, but I don't do that because I don't really find it very useful to do that. Then you can have the Whopper, which is for the DPS wise. You can do like a single target or AoE. I think it's nice. It's just that because I will need to keep resummoning the pet if they keep dying, or then you get a little bit higher maintenance. So in the end I pick Witch Doctor instead. It doesn't kill the fastest, of course, but it's sort of like it's more steady because he does heal things up here and there. And last but not the least, I have a Ripper. The Ripper is like the big demon that I summon. Now the cooldown I think is about every 104 seconds, if I'm not wrong. So every 104 seconds I could summon him, and the more points you put in, the longer it will stay with you. So I think the longest is 40 seconds. So I think that's good enough for me. This is okay. So this boss is kind of interesting. Yeah, there's a timer to it, so you have to finish the boss mechanic within a certain amount of time, and this is Armon. I like this boss a lot. It's very unique design. That it will summon the totem in just a bit. And if you don't, now he's been poisoned by the way. Now he cannot be targeted because there's a totem. But I didn't know that, right? Because I was just playing. It's the first time I'm seeing it. But there's actually a totem that once you destroy, you can continue to deal damage to the boss. Yeah, this I like this fight a lot. So now he's invulnerable again, and I've got a teleport as well, my blink, and I'm trying to position myself to take down the totem. So there's something called the Master Totem, and so this is the one that I think at this moment I got it. I was still trying to hit the boss, and you have to take down the shield again. The yellow bit is a shield. So he's poisoned. You can see a debuff there. He's poisoned by my toxic damage, toxic elemental. Yep, so there's another Master Totem, so I need to take down the Master Totem and yeah, I mean it's kind of fun. Then after that, I have to go back to the boss again, take down the shield, and continue DPSing him down. He's still poisoned, and he's shocked as well. And oh yeah, so I was like, at this point I was like thinking, what's happening? Because I can't target anything else. I think this is the phase whereby he just like get an invulnerable free pass to just hit all of us. We have to survive for I don't know how long, and then after that the totem will appear. So up until now I couldn't see any totem to attack, so I couldn't. So this is the totem, I think. So that's done. Totem is done. There's another totem, and I think this is the last round. With the Armor is the second boss before the final boss, Astaroth. So yep, that is done with the timer. Very interesting. So the last one, I'm heading to the Gate of Judgment. I'm going to commentate the rest of the video because I think I've already talked a lot about the game, about the summoner itself. The game-wise, the patch just came out with quite a number of quality of life improvement, including extra inventory, extra components whereby you can buy for crafting. So I think those are a good thing, but I'm still having the sudden frame rate issue. So within the 3 hours of playing, I've encountered about 2 times or 3 times that the screen just freeze, become very slow. So is it game breaking or not? I don't know. I mean, if you're playing for 3 hours and you have like that momentary kind of like drop in frame rate, can you like accept it? I mean, of course, I wish that this game had a higher quality, but it just doesn't. It never had, right? I mean, since the beginning of the game being created by Flagship, it has full of like bugs and whatnot. I think I think the concept of the game is really good. It's the execution that kind of like I really wish that someone would remaster the whole game or bought a license to remaster it. I think a lot of us will just play the Hellgate London Part 2, but I don't think it will be one of those things. So anyway, this is the Reanimator. I like this map a lot. The Citadel. It's quite a large map. There are many levels to go up or down depending on which angle it comes in. It is also the same map that used in Stonehenge as well. I think they reused some of this map. So this is the one that I need to take down 200 of Judgment Army, and I have to do so with timer on me as well. So these are 30 minutes. Then after that, I start to go into the, I have to get out from the citadel. Actually, took some time. So yeah, it was really exciting for me because at one point I was stuck. I couldn't find the entrance of the map, and the timer was ticking. So I was thinking of what happened if the timer dropped to 0 and I haven't completed the army thing. Do I need to restart all the way from the beginning? I hope not, right? So yeah. But in any case, this is 195, and I took down the messenger from hell as well. And after that, they will ask me to another video call. So the second last boss I think is another Lord Deacon. So this is the one that I ran out of mana or power. I wanted to summon the Reaper actually. So yeah, I think I was a little bit too far because there's a meter to it. So I think 15 meters is where my gun is the range is. So after that, we have to defeat 66 of the army. So it's kind of like it's always the same. Like you defeat one lord, then one champion, another champion, X number of mobs, then the third champion or final boss or whatnot. So yeah, it's kind of linear, but it's alright. I mean, 3 hours of fun. I did it in one shot, so I was very happy about it. So now this is the Astaroth. Like I said before, it's my first time playing Astaroth. So do pardon me if the boss fight wasn't top notch because I was trying to figure out what happened to it. So once I went in, I sort of like learned the whole thing, right? So the boss is there. So I summoned the big guy, the Reaper, but then I got hit by the fire. So as you can see, then the big guy didn't go for the boss. I was wondering what on earth, and then I realized that okay, so there's actually something called the cleric. So I suppose the cleric needs to be taken down before the boss can be attacked. So while the boss is giving us a lot of headache, throwing us the fireballs and whatnot, then we are trying to take down the all this caster, and seems to be working out pretty alright. There's a thunderstorm on top as well. Try not to stay there, and there are fire stuff as well. And I'm trying to see where things are. So now the boss time. I think it's still not boss time yet. I'm still trying to get like the sense of where things are. So I think there are altogether 4 cleric or 5 cleric. Can't remember. So now the boss is vulnerable. So this is the time when we unload all our DPS onto it. But my demon is going off in just a bit. Okay, so that's it. So now after the demon is gone, right, you can see that I struggle a lot. And here's the part whereby I die a couple of times here because the damage is too very high for nightmare level. And all this fireball is very very hard to dodge. And these guys, right, all these mobs are quite pretty hard as well. So I can dodge some of the fireballs, and I think some of my just trying to find where the other guy is, and I'm in the middle of thunderstorm, and I have to find my way out of the thunderstorm. So yes, it's a very hectic kind of move, and I think if I'm going to do it again, I would be a little bit better on where to anticipate certain things, so at least a little bit calmer. But now I have to see the fireball, I see the thunderstorm, I have to see like where things goes, and yep. And I summoned the big demon there, and now it's like one-on-one here with him. He's vulnerable again. So, man, this is so epic. It's like I was really tensed up here. The fight took a long time. This is an addictive version, yeah. So I take out those bits that are like just kiting around, doing nothing much, and some of the phases that are not that interesting. But all in all, again, it's boss time. So trying to unload all the firepower as you can have onto him before he go invulnerable again. So now he go invulnerable, so there's another phase to it. I think there are like 5 phases if not wrong. It's pretty intense. It is meant to be a multiplayer game, so I think it's meant to be like played by 4 people. on this boss. It's not meant to be like a solo kind of gameplay. But I mean, but I think they tuned the game a little bit lower so as to be able to make it a solo playable game. So, but I mean, I'm playing a summoner, right? I cannot imagine if I play as, like, I don't know, marksman or whatever it is, how am I going to survive all this nonsense and take down all these things on my own while I have to fight the boss as well. So that, I don't know, man, for the life of me, I can't imagine how anybody could have done it without the summoner kind of like class. But yep. So that is I believe that's the last round of it. So yep, that's the last round of it. And with that said, then I clear the second attack. So, well, I mean, thank you so much for watching, and as always, you can tell me what you want to see and give me comments as well. More than happy to take a suggestion and so on. I still have quite a lot of games to go through, so time is always very limited. So I'll see what I can do with some of these games that in my library need to take out to play it. But for Hellgate London, I really want to complete the second attack, and then the A Beast, which is the next one, and then after that go for the Tokyo. All right, see you next time. Goodbye.